Maria here. Welcome back to the podcast. In this episode, I want to talk about money and pricing your product or service, and especially underpricing or overpricing it, which is essential to think about before because this can literally break your business. And I'm also going to share the biggest lessons I took away from it. So hopefully I can spare you a very painful time. But before we dive in, here's a quick reminder that my holistic skincare expert class is still open for enrollment. I'm very excited. We are starting very soon. So please make sure to sign up if you want to be part of this round. If you want to learn everything there is about natural skincare, how to make it yourself, what to look out for, and how this recipe I'm teaching you is going to accompany you for the rest of your life. Yes, my friends, you are done searching for the perfect product because I will teach you how to make it yourself. If you like that, head over to my website. You will find every detail, you will find all the details there, and I will just put the link below. Now, let's get started with this episode. All right, so when I started my company, Green Planet Cosmetics, I wanted to really make a difference skincare-wise. So if you don't know yet, I used to create my own skincare myself. It was just a hobby. I only did it for myself. I had no intentions of really helping others with it, selling it, or any of it, nothing. I just did that for me because I was so unsatisfied with everything the industry supplied and just also the scheme they built up. It's literally they are making you addicted to their products, and then you are stuck with them, so you have to use them, because if you stop using them, you will suffer through all the side effects, like dry and itchy skin, red skin, all the a patchy, it was just terrible. It was so terrible, and all I wanted was just to have a peace of mind. I don't want to worry about that stuff. I just want one product that is awesome, or two. I have a soap and I have a moisturizer, done. And that's it. And I want to be able to purchase it everywhere, or just be able to make it wherever I am. And I'm traveling a lot, so it has to be easy to make, right? And I just where is the easy stuff? Where is just simplicity? Where is it? Where are you hiding? So I literally decided, you know what, fuck it. I know exactly what I want. I know exactly what I need. So I'm just going to make it myself. Boom. So yeah, I've done that for years. And at some point I needed to make magic happen, and I decided to start Green Planet Cosmetics. If you want the full story on that, why and how I did it, and what happened in between, I will link my episode, my story. Actually, now as I'm saying this, I'm not even sure if I have it yet in English. A very good reminder. I'm gonna put a note down right now. So yes, if you want, check out this episode as soon as it's live. I'm going to link it below. So basically I started Green Planet Cosmetics, which was supposed to be back then it was just product based, and I basically just wanted to focus on very few products, and especially my favorite, my products from South Africa. That is where I really fell in love with my favorite ingredients, and with just such a beauty of a country, and it's just amazing. I felt so good, and it's just learning all about it and all of the old traditions, and it was just beautiful. So I wanted to take that home with me back to Europe, and I wanted to make it available for purchase so everyone can have a little bit of South Africa in their home. So that was my attempt. And because of my previous relations, but because I was ordering it already, and I knew exactly which supplier I really liked, it was very easy to cut out all the middlemen and just go straight to the source, basically. So what I did was literally I rang up the farms, and I asked, hey, is it actually possible for you guys to ship it over to Europe, and what are the conditions? So that's how it started, basically. And back in the day, I didn't even want to have a huge anything. I just wanted an online shop that can run passively, so to speak. So that was the idea, to set up a passive income stream so I can keep on spending time in South Africa, and just live my life there, so to speak. So because of that, I knew, okay, I'm gonna cut out all the middlemen because I go straight to the source. I know exactly what I like production, like packaging wise, product design wise. I knew everything that I wanted. So that already saved me a lot of time, a lot of try and error, because I was trying and erroring the years before. But at that point I already had it, but it was just as my hobby, my little private hobby, so to speak. And I also knew if I do it, I don't want to become this just another asshole brand that is literally fooling the clients like a lot and is like straight up lying to them. Because back in the day where that was just my hobby, I was in the advertising industry. So film and advertising, that was my specialty back in the day. And just especially in the advertising industry, whew, you get to look behind the curtains, and oh, you guys, it's not pretty. It's not pretty. Unfortunately, the job was a lot of fun. It's just, really just seeing it up front and very close to really understand how they are all like taking the piss. And it's ridiculous. And they are making a ton of money by like simply lying to us and selling us stuff we don't need. So I didn't want to become that. And that was pretty clear to me. I wanted, again, I love simplicity and I just really love nature. So, I don't know. I just let nature inspire me and just like keep it simple, keep it easy, hassle free. And I hate to use 100 products. I want to use just a couple of products, maybe 3, maybe 4, and that is it. And I also want to be able to say, hey, you know what? My skin is perfectly healthy. So just soap for me now. I want that. So I want to be able to also just live, like, especially like when I'm by the ocean, in and out of the water constantly. I don't want to worry about that. Oh, and now I have to shower, now I have to apply moisturizer, now I have to apply 10 other products. No. So I knew, okay, I'm going to keep it simple. I'm going to just go for the basics, so to speak. But because I'm just really leaving out all the unnecessary bullshit, I can focus on the best quality. Like very few ingredients, but just the best. And that also saves you a lot of money, because all this shishi and fairy dust and decoration and stuff is just extra money you spend for nothing really. So that was always my goal, to just really keep it simple, keep it real, be honest about it, and help everyone else. Because I mean, I know what it was like for me back then, and how unsatisfied and unhappy I was, and how much more complicated my life was because of it. So I totally know what my customers want and what they appreciate, because they are like me. Like, I want to attract people like me and I want to help them because I know I can help them. So that was a goal. And the biggest mistake here was already to believe that I can start my company from scratch. So, not I didn't have any clients signed or anything, because again, I was just doing it for myself. And then my family and best friends, they were very lucky because I used to bring them like beautiful products, but that's really it. So I didn't have any clients, I didn't have any Instagram or nothing. So no following, no nothing. But I actually believed I can pull it off anyway. And unfortunately, the way I calculated it was, because I'm, keeping it all so minimalistic, and also just cut out all the middlemen where I can, because I have all my connections, I just go straight to the source, makes sense, that I can offer the best price out there on the market, make it as inexpensive as possible for my clients, and then therefore, hopefully, I want to advertise to smart people. That's what I thought. Like, hey, if they, like, once they realize, oh my gosh, that is amazing, like price value crazy, I'm going to come back. I'm going to bring my whole family. So because I can keep the price low, more people are actually able to buy it. And then, I go through the quantity of people. So instead of just making it very expensive from the beginning and then only a few people being able to afford it, I thought, hey, no, I wanted to be affordable for as many people as possible, because everything else was just like, no, I'm just doing it, no, like I want to be a brand that's actually out there to really help people. Like I honestly want to help my customers, my clients. Problem was, so the idea is quite nice still. I think it's great, and if I would have the opportunity, I would still go for that one. Unfortunately, well, you have to sell a certain amount of products in order to cut the profit. So, it was still always this, okay, I'm new, I had no idea how many orders do I have a month, per year, the next year, the year after. And obviously, the more you buy, the more product you buy. So if you buy in bulk, let's say a ton, you buy less. So, but a ton, like 1,000 kilogram of product is a lot, and you have to sell a lot to get rid of it, okay? And the thing is, I always had to pay upfront for the ingredients, and then you never know who's gonna buy. So that was always a bit of an issue to really just find the sweet spot. Okay, cool. I want to have it all as fresh as possible. So I go with small batches and then sell them and then go back and get more. But again, I totally underestimated how hard it would be to start building up just a client base. And so that was the first one. So at that point, I didn't, because I was, doing all of it and I was in the middle of the storm, so to speak. So I didn't really look out for that. And I was like, damn, I need to reach more people. So I was just focused on reaching more people instead of just focusing, hey, I have to actually raise the price. Because again, the price was made for, I don't know, selling 10,000 units the first year. But I'm now selling 1,000, which is incredible enough as it is, which is really amazing. It is little if you see it on a big scale, and especially when I compare it to the big brands, it's ridiculous, it's nothing. But if you do start and you start from scratch, that's actually a lot already. But, with this amount only, obviously the price was completely now, like literally breaking it. I was in big trouble because of it. And because I was focused on the wrong thing. So I was just focused on, no, but I'm going to reach more people. I'm going to have more people buying it. And then it would just balance itself out again. It didn't happen. It didn't happen fast enough. So yeah, big mistake number one was definitely to undercharge my products for a very long time and to focus on things that were, I have to, obviously you have to focus on growing your network as well, but that takes time. And at that point, back then, it was more important to raise the price immediately and to sell at a higher price in order to keep the quality and also my business afloat and running. Because that's the difference to a hobby. You have to make your profits in order to not just sustain the business and to really keep the doors open, yes, but to also expand the business. Because I started out with one product, then I had 3, then I had 5, then I had 10 products. And I always needed the money up front to buy, right? Because like what I do now, I also realized that. So, and now I'm doing it differently. I'm doing drops. So I have what I have. I do drops, people sign up. Then I produce them, and then, people get it delivered. So there's basically a wait list, and then people are happy to wait for the product, and I do it with the soap and some other products, depends. And then whatever is left goes into the online shop for sale. So there is a way better strategy for me. But again, I didn't know that. So I had to make that experience first. And the problem was that I ended up at some point, so just before I really set the price up, I was like, damn, like looking at the numbers and then realizing, and now I am at a point where I am actually making a lot of sales, and Amazon was my best selling platform. And for my category, I was with 3 products. I was always number one, ranked organically, which again is insane enough, and not just for one day or 1 week, like constantly. And still, I totally also underestimated the fees Amazon charges you for. So, I totally, like in the beginning, I totally let myself be blinded by oh, you only pay 15%, yay, and like $50 for a monthly subscription. And I thought, hey, 15%, that's awesome. But what they don't tell you is how much money you have to put down for advertisement so people see you. So, all the, let's say, early bird program and all the stuff you sign up for, and you pay a little bit of money to just, for your promotions, etc. And yeah, stuff like that. And obviously, the more you spend, the more Amazon gains, right? So they are also pushing people who are spending a lot of money. So if you are like, let's say 2012, a lot of people were actually able to get around by just fulfill themselves and pay the 15% referral fee and all as well. But it doesn't work like that anymore. So yeah, I totally let myself be fooled there for sure. But I realized also very quickly, like, oh, okay, so that is actually more the number I have to look out for. Like, it's more like around 50% Amazon takes if we calculate everything in. And that's also, interesting. And now also when I help other people with their Amazon shop, it's interesting because I'm not the only one making that mistake. But again, because I went through it myself, I know now and I can help people way better. But yeah, it is very interesting. Unfortunately, it's not like a test. Like, it's not, let's say you are in uni and you have a project and hey, let's all pretend we have this and we make that happen, and then, what happens? And this is real life. Like, this is real life. It happens with real money. It's your money and you don't have money, right? You're a startup. You just started, you put down your own money, your savings. It's all you have. And now let's go. So that was my case, at least. And yeah, you realize, damn, I need the money to pay the rent, because if I close down, or if I have no sales, or if I have sales, but now I'm spending too much because I didn't calculate enough for that, that means I cannot pay the rent. That means I can't buy food. That means I can't even put down the money for the next order. And yeah, all of that happened very fast. And then also COVID happened. So that's another one. And I was like, holy shit. So it was a big life lesson, but it was also like the amount that I've learned in just a few years was insane. And all the experience, I mean, crazy. However, I really did learn, unfortunately, the hard way, that, god damn it, you can't be, at least not when you start, you cannot be the lowest price. So that is definitely what I take away from it. If you go for the price only, if you want to be the lowest price and you always have to really define yourself over the price, you are going to lose, especially on a platform like Amazon, because there are huge brands out there with all the fuck you money in the world. And these guys can keep the price as low as they want because they have so much money to throw at advertising and I don't know, whatever program. So they are always ranked very high up. Also, there are brands that people know already. So I was new. No one knew that Green Planet Cosmetics existed, right? So you can't go over the name. You have to go over the keywords, and you have to find a strategy to, make people aware of you. Like, okay, what does my ideal customer type in? Like, what are they looking for? So I can then find them through the keywords and stuff like that. So it's very interesting. It's a great journey, but again, it costs a lot of money and a lot of time. So yeah, please do yourself a favor. Don't go over the price. Don't just price under value. In, at least again, that was what I did. I knew it was a very cheap price, which is in Germany. I remember like a lot of people, that's so expensive. And I'm like, well, yeah, it's actually not. So you have to also make sure to advertise to your right customers, because there are people appreciating your service and knowing exactly what it is. They really, really truly appreciate the value you are bringing them. And then there are people, they just want, I don't know what they want. Like, I don't know, whoever goes out and buys a great moisturizer for $1.99. I'm like, how in the world is that great? Like, what? Like, yeah, whatever. If that's what you want, go for it. But that's not what I'm selling, right? So you really have to make sure to also target the right audience and really just rather go to a small pond that has and holds a lot of your people. So that is also my experience. So yeah, rather go through this very niche and then find people who are actually interested in your offer. and then you also have a high conversion rate. So again, that's all on Amazon's site. I do have episodes where I talk about what it's like to sell on Amazon and go a little bit deeper into issues and situations that happen on Amazon. So if you like, you can check those out as well. But yeah, very important is to really understand that it's not a, oh, just kidding moment, like, like, oh, like, that was a mistake. I just, oh, okay, yeah, no, sorry, we just go again. No, like, if you fuck up, you probably have to close down your business. And that's a shame, because if you sell a great service, a great product, we need you. We need people that are honest and deliver just great value. Okay. So if you close down, like, where do I go to? Where do I go to get my skincare? That's what people say to me always. No, Maria, when you close down, like, where do I get my soap? Where do I get my skin oil? Where do I do this? And I'm like, well, good for you. You are my friend. So you are sorted out. But yeah, everyone else, no, sorry, can't help you anymore. So you see, this is not helping you, because you lose your job, you lose your apartment, you lose everything basically, because this is providing for you if that's your only job, so that's devastating. But then also it's devastating for the client and the customer out there, because they need you. You see. And it was also to see, to like, oh wow, now I can't support the family run businesses over in South Africa either, because obviously if I don't have enough budget to buy more products the next year, I can't support their business either. So it's suddenly this domino effect where, like, damn, fuck, what's happening? And again, there is no, oh, just kidding, let's start again. No, you're fucked when that happens. And trust me, guys, I was fucked many times. Like, I was like, damn, why again? But yeah, again, hey, you learn so much from it. So I really hope I can spare you at least a few of these moments and just really, really address this issue right now. What's also important, and what I also didn't, I mean, I kind of knew, but I was pushing that a little bit too much aside, too away from, yeah, my attention span. So you definitely also have to keep in mind, if you are young. So I started my business in my 20s, and in my 20s I didn't need much. So, I mean, I don't know what it was for you, but yeah, I want to have a good time. I want to have a job I love. I want to make money. But I always go, I mean, yes, there are the money jobs, but I also love doing the jobs for my heart, right? That are fulfilling and a lot of fun. And how amazing if you can combine both. Sometimes it's possible, sometimes not. So I always made sure to keep a balance. But again, like, I lived a very moderate lifestyle. Like, for me, it was important to travel. That is my luxury. Being able to travel with a backpack and just go out there, meet local people, learn new languages. Like, it's all of that for me. That is the wow. That's what I want. Like, I want a nice, like, a home, a safe home. I want, it doesn't have to be a castle or anything. Just, especially back then, I was like, hey, you know what? I just want one place, a nice place if possible, in a nice and safe area. I want to be able to buy my groceries without worrying. I want to be able to travel. I want to be able to visit my family, not be like, oh, I can't visit you because I don't have the money. Like, that sucks so much. So I don't want to worry about that. But then further than that, I was like, whatever, right? So, oh yeah, and obviously I always knew that I have to put money aside for, the quiet seasons. So I was pretty good with that. But yeah, at some point, especially in your 30s, you are going to realize, oh, so how about having a family now? And then you're fucked again. Because, yeah, if you, by that time, you haven't really kind of addressed the issues, especially when you were an underpriced, yeah, selling undervalue. That's a big issue, because now it's not just you anymore. Now you have a partner, now you have maybe children, and now, it's actually even more important to, provide for them and to have like a stable income. And also for you, because you don't want to run around when you are 60 and still, like, yeah, underpricing and undercharging for your service, because again, no one else is going to come and save you. Like, everyone is happily taking the discount, and your service you're offering is like, yeah, jackpot, great for them. But then who's going to watch out for you? Who's going to come and save you when you need help? Who's going to buy your groceries when you can't afford them? Who's gonna pay for your apartment when you have, when you are going through a rough patch and have no job or no clients signed up? Who's gonna help you then? I can tell you, it's no one. Like, you really have to make sure to sort yourself out. Like, you have to be safe, you have to be overflowing, and when you are overflowing, you can give. And that's definitely for me. I am glad it happened when I was still young, but still, like, I already knew, like, damn, I wasted a lot of time and money. For sure I did. On the other hand, I gained a lot of experience and a lot of knowledge, which is priceless. So you see, I always see both sides. So yes, at one point I'm looking back and I'm like, oh my gosh, like, wow. But I don't know one startup that didn't do that. It is a learning curve. But again, like, it is important that you look at it, that you address the issues, and that you sort them out. And that is what I always wanted to do. I really wanted to make sure that I don't just want to serve to rich people, because I think the knowledge and everything I teach you is important to know. Everyone should have access to that knowledge. It is just important that you know that some products are actually really, really harmful for you. And if you consume them over a long period of time, you are paying such a high price. And I'm not speaking about the money, I'm talking about your health. And I find it mean that only, let's say, rich people have access to that knowledge. So instead, what I decided then was, hey, you know what? I want to give that knowledge out for free. So this is where I have my website, my journal, my articles, where I write about it. I create free content on my social media. And obviously now with the podcast or YouTube, I also give out free advice. So I want to do that, and then I charge, to help people implement it into their lifestyle. So if the information is out there and now people can decide, hey, I actually want to dive in deeper, I'm going to do it myself, so I'm going to spend a lot of hours researching it and trial and error, right? You can do that, and you can do that with like little money. But you have the knowledge, and you have someone pointed it out to you. So I find that very important. But there are also people who are like, oh shit, I didn't even realize, like, can you help me? Yeah, totally. I would love to help you implement that, like finding practical solutions to implement into your life, and finding solutions that are actually made for you. So now I'm charging for that. So, that was my learning curve, to really understand, okay, so don't just go over the price and try to be the most affordable. Yeah, again, don't overcharge either. Like, that is also a very shitty move. On one hand, you're really taking the piss, and just like, again, that is what I don't want. Like, morally, I'm like, oh, you guys, you know what? Like, I know I can charge a lot more. But on the other hand, like, can we just keep it, fair here for everyone? So yeah, it is, and you have to decide that for yourself, where your sweet spot is. So you don't want to undercharge, you don't want to overcharge. But in the end, to be honest now, I think overcharging is not as bad as, for you at least, is not as bad as undercharging for your service, because at least in that way, you are getting your money and you are always afloat and you are always running over. So once you decide to give, and to maybe also deliver the quality, so that's important. I would say you can overcharge, and if people are happy to pay the price, if, sorry, if people are happy to pay the price, then that's great. But you have to make sure to really back up whatever it is you're offering, right? So the quality must be in line with the price. That is my opinion, at least. So I hate to go somewhere, pay like a crazy amount of money, but I then expect something in return. So if I pay 2,000 euro for a course, I expect it to be excellent. And like filled with practical advice, not just the stuff I can literally Google. And if it happens to be the stuff I can Google and I can literally find out in the next 30 minutes, I'm going to be pissed and I'm not going to recommend the shop. I'm probably also not going to leave a 5-star review. And you see, so it depends what kind of business you are running. Because for me, I would love to just create a community of satisfied customers. I want to have customers, so that is where I would love to focus more on, like, you know, instead of advertising like in all the directions. I always convert the most through to like referrals, like people, like real people using my product and are like, oh my god, I love it, I'm going to recommend it to everyone I know because I love it. So that's usually the best. And that's also for me the best because yeah, it literally happens passively. So it's like a nice passive side effect. And it doesn't cost me any extra money. It's literally my work, like everything I put into it is like now passively converted into happiness. And yeah, people are just happy to spread the love, which is amazing. So yeah, again, that works for me best. But again, you can't force that. So you can't force people, you know, again, that is a process. It happens naturally, but everything that happens naturally takes time. So you can't really force this process. So it's not like paying someone, you know, like on social media to say stuff. But again, I'm not a fan of that because I hate lying. Like I want people, like if I do pay someone, I want to pay someone who loves my products, who's like, hell yeah, you know, I would have done it anyway. So that's the type of person I would go for. Because I think you feel it if people are actually legit and mean what they say, or if they're literally just taking the money and reading whatever, because that's what they literally do. They're getting a script, say this and that, and that's it. But that's not really my style. So again, it depends what you want, what it is you are doing. But yeah, definitely keep that in mind. Hey, when you are calculating, forgive me, it's still dark. I'm sitting here with a little candle. I've actually wrote down a few notes because I find it very important to cover this topic and to really give you all the insight that I have. And I can't read shit. It's literally, I'm like, I don't know, I can't read that far and it's dark because I have to actually, I have to beat the construction workers. So they start probably very soon. And which is why I got up an hour earlier to now record this episode. And I really hope I still have a few minutes before they start. But let's see. So, yes, basically, please make sure to, you know, it's great if you're like me and you want to just spoil us, you know, your clients, your customers, for the best price and to really make sure that the quality is matching the price and you also are paying fair price to everyone else. So that is amazing and it's great. But always make sure that you are fine. You have to make the profit that you need. And again, once again, if you're overflowing, you can give. And that is literally how my friends and also like my go-to people, my counselors, so to speak, they also said, and that's how they sold it to me as well, because I was so upset. I was like, oh, but I don't want to go like, you know, overboard with the price. But then at some point I had to, because again, if I want to match the quality, if I want to stay this high quality, then, you know, again, like I can't force more sales right now. Again, I'm growing and I know they're coming, but right now I need to make a decision. So it's either me closing down, me going down in quality, which is never gonna happen, or I definitely have to double the price. And yeah, that's what I did in the end. And I'm like, oh no, I failed. So basically I felt like I failed. I'm like, I was so upset and so upset with myself. Like, why? Like, I know I can do it and I'm happy to do it because there are many people out there who also can, you know, be more honest and sell us fair and honest products, but they choose not to. And here I am, I know that I can, I know I'm capable, and I'm also happy to. Yet it didn't work. I'm like, damn. But no. So yeah, that was for me one for the books, definitely to learn. And what really helped me is to understand that once I get the money that I need to not just keep, afloat, but to actually thrive, then I can give, because I have so much now, I'm overflowing. I can actually then also give, and I can give directly to my people and say, hey, you know what, thank you so much, here's a whatever discount, Merry Christmas, stuff like that. Or I can now also take a few hours a week and produce this podcast, give out more free content. So I can do stuff like that. And I actually like it. And now looking back, I'm like, oh, damn it, I wish someone had told me this earlier. Because it makes all the sense. But when you are in the situation, it's just all blurry. It's just, you can't think straight, and you're probably very emotionally involved because it's your business baby. Of course you are. And yeah, it's hard. It is hard. It is tough, and the real life has nothing to do with like study, like somewhere at uni or school or what. It really, it's a complete different experience, and it all happens in real time. There's no going back. And once you've lost your money, once your business is bankrupt, that's it. So yeah, no, don't let it get there. Really, just, again, everyone has to decide that for themselves. Like, I'm not dictating anything really. I just give out some advice. I share my experience, and that's definitely something I wish I had heard a bit earlier. And also, like what I said to you, like in your 20s, you don't need much, but at some point, you need, you have a different lifestyle. It's a complete different world. And especially if you also have to provide for a family, it's a complete different level. So yeah, make sure you charge a fair price, a very, like a great price, because again, especially if you're offering a great value to your customers, you should be paid accordingly. And also you want to attract people that are happy to pay you that amount of money. And here's why. I just want to give you one last example, and that is me being, like, now I'm talking from my experience in being a customer. And give me a second. I'm just gonna get ready for that. Have a sip of my tea. And actually, just, where's my little flashlight? 1 second. Just want to make sure that I covered everything I wanted to cover. Oh yeah. I forgot a big one. Yep. Okay, cool. So yeah, before I give you my example, I just want to quickly also remind you that unfortunately, we are still living in a world where the value is equal to the price. So I have noticed that a lot as well, which is interesting. So for some reason, and yeah, I don't know what it is. Is that a human being thing, or are we conditioned towards that? I don't even know. But it's literally, I talk to so many other people. I have one doctor, client, customer, and I created I created a few products for her. So I customized them for her, and I talked to her, and she was also a therapist and also into Chinese medicine. So I talked to her about it, because she also, she was older than me and had a lot of experience, and she was doing very, very well. And I'm like, wow, how do you do that? Just talking to her, and like, wow, like really, I just love listening to that story because it's so impressive. And it's amazing how she just, was going through life, and it's like, what do you mean? Money is lying on the street. Like, what? Well, how come you struggle? I'm like, well, I don't know, this and that. And then she also like, no, girl, you are undercharging your product, so you change that right now. And I ask her, and she, and that is again what I mean. Like, I'm happy to give that advice back to you, because I know how it helped me to really overcome this believe that, oh no, maybe when I'm too expensive, I don't know, I didn't even know what I was, just really trying to, I don't know, nail it with the price and be fair, like all around. But then again, it needs to be reflected back from your customers as well. And this, so yeah, again, it is not easy. And she said to me also, like, hey, listen, I have to actually raise my price. Like every few years I do that, because it's, yeah, that's also something people don't really, I don't know, at least what I've learned was always like, hey, you keep this constant price. And it, it also, I don't know, maybe that's a very German thing, but I don't know, it was always like people were used to like paying the same price for years. And um yeah, and then you realize once you are in that situation, and like in the real life, with a real business, real customers, real money, you realize that's actually pretty hard to maintain, especially when stuff goes down, and shit happens. And just look at COVID, inflation, war. I mean, excuse me. And she said, yeah, listen. And she also does a lot of I don't know what that's called, but when you want to stop smoking, and people go to her and do acupuncture for it. And she does that a lot. And she said it's funny because that is a service she wants to give for free. And she uh, even has like set up, I believe, once a month or twice a month, like a free what that costs, like, I don't know, I want to say $40 or $50, like a session that is, affordable. So if you really want to, you go there, and it's literally like you know a little amount you pay to get rid of a habit you don't want to have anymore. And she says, what's funny, because she also has this need, she wants to help. She doesn't just want to charge ridiculous sums of money. She actually wants a person to get better. And she said, after my 20 years experience, I can tell you that people don't appreciate the affordable service, because if it's affordable, it's bad. Like, oh, it can't be that good then. So she said she like literally overpriced. Like she said she is now charging so much for this stop smoking therapy session. I don't know what to call that. And she's like, it's ridiculous. And I actually, in the beginning, I felt bad, but now, funny enough, people they almost need to feel this pain, like they almost must suffer a little bit, like, oh, that's so much money, like, okay, now I really have to get it together. Plus they always compare, or they always kind of confuse, because I find it a little bit of a confusion, like the price with the value, which is unfortunate, because again, like, talking to her, meeting her, working with her, I know that the the price they offered, or it was a colleague and her, so she would do it once a month, and then the colleague also said, hey, I'm in, like, I also want to make it available for more people. And in the end, people did not appreciate it. And I was like, how insane is that? Like, what? Wow. Wow. Yeah, I couldn't believe it. But that's what she said. Like, you can't, give the people what they want. If they want to pay a lot of money for the product because then they believe it's better, do it. So I was like, okay, right. Thanks for your advice. It's great advice. It's a great experience. But yeah, I was shocked. I was actually shocked to hear her story. That was her summary for like the past 20 years. So yeah, I'm just saying, again, you do you. I don't know, whatever it is you are charging. So really make sure you are meeting all of your necessities. You want to make sure that you are good. And again, rather charge a little bit too much than too little, because then in the end you will have to close down your business and you are not helping anyone, which is a shame because we need you. Okay, now here my example. And I gave that example at some other occasion the other time, and people were like, oh, no way. So I'm like, oh, okay, you like that example, awesome. So I'm also going to share it here on the podcast. So this example is, I am the customer. Okay, so I have I have my eye out, so I'm like observing, watching a sister duo, and they do copyright. They do copyright, and they do it so amazingly, and like, it's, oh, I love it. I love everything about it. I love the way they speak, they write. So I'm very attracted to that, because I also like to use this type of language, and I want to make it a little bit like cheeky and a little bit funny at times, so I really like, they totally got me immediately. I'm like, okay, cool. So I watch them and I'm like, damn, I want them to have to make my new website. So I know the new website I'm getting is gonna be like, it must be them. There is no other way. Okay, so this is a sister duo from Maha Copy, and they are amazing. Love them both. And actually, you know what? I'm going to ask them or invite them to the podcast. Maybe they're up for it because I would love to talk to them. And so, yeah, basically, so I went to their website and I checked it out and I'm like, hey, you know what? They do online courses for self-study basically. So you can just get started whenever and, self-teach yourself. Self-teach yourself? What? I don't know. But yeah, do it yourself. And they also have, I'm not sure if they're still doing it. I hope so, because I want them. So they're also offering their service, take on only a few clients, because of course, it's very intense. So it's a lot of work that goes into just one client. And now, accordingly, you have to set a price. So what I want from them, so I basically want them to set up a new website for me, and then also set up a new, like just a new launch product for one of my classes. So, and these services were around 12,000 each. That's before tax. So you have, I don't know, let's say 12,000, 25, including tax. It's, I don't know, what is that? A little bit about 30K for this service, the website, and also setting up all the funnels and what. So I don't have to do it. So I don't ever have to worry about it anymore, And I told that, so that was an example when I talked to a client and I'm like, and I find that, like, I'm very happy to pay them that amount. And because she's like, what? That's a lot of money. Because she was like, I was hoping to get away with like 3,000 for a website. And I'm like, well, yeah, you can probably, but then in the end, how good can it be? Like, if you have someone who starts out, and I also helped a lot of people with their website, but because that is not my main focus. I got very good because I had to do everything in my own business, and I have no like years of experience, so I can definitely help them. But again, if you want to be on top of the world, if you want the best, and especially if you have to reach a lot of people, and you have to nail it, like especially the rank on Google. Like, that's so important. You can have the most amazing website, you can have the most amazing products or services. If no one knows they exist, no one is going to buy them. And it doesn't mean that. That's also what most people really underestimate. And I know that because some of them are or were my clients, where I'm like, you have amazing products, the service you use, it's insane, like it's crazy good. It doesn't matter. If no one knows you exist, it doesn't matter. The problem is now these people believe, oh, I'm not good enough. No one comes to me. I'm not selling. Oh, I'm not good enough. I'm not this enough. The product, it's just, I'm not made for this. I'm not good. No, you are brilliant. You are excellent. It's just that people don't know it yet. And this is why you are paying money to a professional who helps you with that. So in the beginning, honestly, I didn't believe it's going to be like, I did not believe that you have to spend so much money to have a great website. And I was like, oh, that's just, that's bullshit. No, you can make it for way, less money and what. And again, you can, but it's just the time you waste of climbing up the algorithm rank is ridiculous. So if you have the money, really throw money at the issue, hire a great team and let them do what they are great at. That's their specialty, and you just have to find your match. So these two women are just, I love the way they talk and write. It's just like, oh, I love it, yes please. So it really matches my what I'm standing for, the way I speak, and I'm totally like attracted to them. I'm like totally like, yep, nailed it, I love it. So obviously everyone who doesn't like the storytelling process, if people are more interested in just having the cold facts, it's literally just that, it includes that, and that, done. And especially men prefer that probably. So, they are probably like not coming to my site, purchasing my products, because they would have to read through so many, like, bits and pieces, and like, oh, and just to clarify this, and now I have this story to tell you, just how I have my podcast. So it always escalates. It's always, sometimes it's all over the place, but I have to tell the story to really make a point, and you either like it or you don't, and it's fine. So there are a lot of people out there, and there is probably exactly the person that you need who nails your audience. So go out, find your person, and then hire them and throw money at them. Now, and that is the one last bit I want to say. Yes, it is a lot of money, but you know what? So, and I also would have to save up for that. So I can't just, put the money from my pocket on the table. No, unfortunately, not yet. If I could, I would already hire them. But no, I'm happy to. And I'm also happy to pay them more than that. Because if that means that they can go completely worry free, and that's again, like, you guys, you want to pay your professional a lot of money, because if these two sisters have to now worry about, oh shit, like, how do we make rent next month? How do we do this? And they can't focus on my website. They can't focus on my issue, on solving my issues, on creating and generating money for me, because they are preoccupied with the basics, with like the basic needs that are not met. So how can you, and now just compare it to yourself. So whatever it is you are doing, even if you don't have your own business, even if you have like an employment, if you worry about the basic stuff like food and having a safe place, or like, imagine your landlord says, oh sorry, like next month we're going to kick you out. I mean, that's a panic right there. And in this panic and very like emotionally charged situation, you can probably not think straight. So how are you supposed to do 150% at your job? How are you supposed to solve your clients' issues if you have this huge issue you should solve out, you should solve yourself first? So, and that's why I'm saying, like, you want people to be completely sorted, to be happy and worry free, because that means they can spend all their time and energy and all their skills on you, on fixing your issues, on generating money for you. You know what I mean? And also, you have to now think ahead a little bit, because these guys, like, when they set up, I know when they set up my website, I don't have to worry about it. B, I don't have to worry about it. And then also I know that they are pros. They know what the keywords are and what I am a little control freak. So yeah, that's, I am going over it, of course, and I look at it, but I know that, hey, these guys, if they say they've got it, I believe them, they've got it. And that's just so priceless. And also, once it's set up correctly, it's also for the future. It just, it just grows and grows and grows naturally. So, and that's just really amazing. And that is what you should always aim for and what you should spend your money on, because just doing wishy-washy, half-assing it, is just costing you a lot of time and money. And yeah, looking back and then just regretting and like, oh, why did I? And no, just really don't. I mean, yes, experience is important, and learn from your experience and learn from your mistakes for sure. But again, you really, like, I've done it. I have gone through all this shit, and trust me, you don't have to. Now, I am the type, I have to try and error, and I have to do it myself, because otherwise I'm not believing it, and I have to try to find my solutions, because I just have to. That's the way I am built. And also because now I can actually create a new business around that, because now I actually have experience, and I have like fucked up, but I also solved my issues, and I became very successful. So that's just a crazy skill to have. And now I can also help other people, and I can help them on a level where I really know what they are going through. I know what my customers and clients are going through, because I was there. And I know exactly what you are, in your head, because I remember when I paid other professionals to do it, and there was just this cookie cutter advice, and I'm like, no, why are you not listening to me? And oh, I know how frustrating that is. So yeah, I'm going to do it better. But again, like, there is this right customer for me, and I know other customers, other clients, they need something else, someone else. But again, there are enough customers and clients for everyone. And just, it's literally like, when you look for a nice guy, like, there is this right match out there. And once you have it, that's it. And you should definitely make sure to nurture this relationship, whether it's with your boyfriend, husband, or with another professional, like on a business relationship level. Very, very important. So yeah, and then obviously, once you get there, once you're overflowing, don't forget to give back a little, at least, to really say thanks and pay your gratitude. Find that very important as well. So I would like to close with that. Isn't that beautiful? So yeah, we covered literally everything now. So I really hope it's not too much information. And I really hope you can take from it whatever it is that you need. I really do. And yeah, please don't punish yourself. You don't have to go through it. You don't have to suffer more. You really don't. Like, sort it out now, and don't beat yourself up for, oh, I should have, I could have, why didn't I? Don't do that. Don't do it. You did it. Now you learned from it, and that's an experience no one can take from you. And now it's important you learn from it and implement it better in the future. And that's it. That's it, you guys. And now tomorrow is a new day. Again, you tweak it, you find a new solution, you find a better solution, you implement it. Boom. Done. All right, you guys. Thank you much. Thank you much. Oh God, yeah, I'm gonna wrap it up now. So thank you so much for listening. If you are still with me, thank you so much. I appreciate you and your support massively. Always so happy to see that every time I open the app on Spotify, there are more people interacting and joining, and it's really great to see that it's appreciated. I really love that, and I love this platform. It's awesome. I really love it. Like, why did I not start earlier? You guys, you see where I'm going with it? It doesn't matter. Important is I did start. So have a beautiful week, have a beautiful day, and I just wish you all the success and just joy in the world. And I will catch up with you in the next one. Ciao. I hope you enjoyed this week's episode and found exactly what you needed from it. If you would like to support my mission, don't forget to follow the podcast and leave a 5-star review. I appreciate your guys' support massively. For more, head over to my website at greenplanetcosmetics.com, where you will find free content, my online workshops, and of course, my signature expert class. If you are feeling called to dive deeper, I also offer one-on-one sessions and intensive packages. Just reach out to me directly. And last but not least, if you have any further questions, business or lifestyle related, or if you would like to hear more about my story, don't hesitate to ask. I would love to hear from you and weave your questions into my future episodes. Now, thanks so much for tuning in, and I will catch you in the next one.